Hello and welcome to another day in Arena and the adventures of young CGB. And it is me, it is CGB. This is my free-to-play account where I show you how I would approach the game if I were doing a completely free-to-play experience. So far, we've had a pretty good week. We have a kill 25 of your opponent's creatures quest for 750, and nothing is color specific, so that's exciting as we get to grind with whatever we want to today. However, killing our opponent's creatures may not be best suited for our blue tempo deck, which does its best to avoid those creatures. Maybe we'll have to build a deck just to knock this quest out. Meanwhile, up here in gold, we've earned almost 4,000 gold in our week, so that's great. And over here in packs, we have 2 core set packs and 2 Ravnica packs to open. Which we'll do at the... we can probably start the video with it. Maybe we'll buy more stuff towards the end. But here in decks, we've unlocked Primal Fury, and we've unlocked Eternal Thirst, Wrath of Mages. We still have a little bit to go. Plus, they made it possible, Wizards now made it possible to unlock the other 5 decks. So there were 10 of these pre-construct decks in the 10 color pairs. You were given one randomly as a quest for, I believe, the first 5 days or every other day, one of those two. And then you couldn't earn the other 5. Well, Wizards just adjusted it today so that you can earn all of them. And that's really good because they do contain some darn good cards and some pretty fun things. Anyway, let's start our video today with opening up our packs. I still don't know why I got these 30 Ravnica packs, but we're not going to open them as part of the show. They are... I've heard that other content creators and fellow streamers, what I would consider small streamers like myself, did receive these. So maybe it's a Wizards thank you for being in their events. Anyway, a rare wild card. We just finished that, so that goes straight to the top there. I don't see any super playable cards here in the pack.
Our kinship ensures our victory.
But then we open an Ajani, Adversary of Tyrants, and that's sure to help us out at some stage. Let's open our next one. Let's see, are any of these useful? Not particularly good cards, unfortunately, but that's core 19 for you. Valiant Knight, though, isn't bad, and maybe someday there's a Knight tribal deck in our future. Let's pop another. We'll pop 2 of these because the 30 I don't know about, but we can definitely open the 2 that we earned. So on this list, obviously a common wild card is helpful. Chemist's Insight is a decent card, but in control decks, and Amara's Soul of the Accord might put us in Selesnya someday. And what have we here? I believe that was another uncommon wild card popping off. Don't see much else here that I'm too excited about, but right there is a March of the Multitude, so maybe there is a Selesnya push coming our way after all. Alright, leaving the rest of these, as I am a free-to-play. This is for the peoples. So we have a quest to kill a bunch of things. Let's see about making a quest full of removal spells. Whatever can kill the most stuff. We can use this cast down, killing your opponent's creatures, just like mono removal. So like I was saying in a few of my videos that may not have been on the public side, do your quests. Your first priority should be all the time to do your quests. Do all your quests. Once you've done your quests, then you can worry about doing other things with the game, playing your favorite decks. This actually exiles things, it doesn't kill them, so I'm not going to add it, which is really weird because it's such a good removal spell, but it is what it is. But yeah, get your quests done. You don't have to worry about winning all the time, although winning will earn you a few extra cards, so there's nothing wrong with trying to win. But don't overthink it, just get your quests done. Let's add some Gutter Snipes, as this is a way we can go face. And other than that, we'll add a whole bunch of burn spells and dragons and the monster swords to just run into the opponent and get some extra damage in there. But this will be like I kill all your stuff and then I burn you to death and play some big things. And that's about, that's going to be our black-red pile. We got a pair of Banefires to slide in. We could play Is It for Rawl and Expansion, 2 very decent cards for the style, but I don't want to add a 3rd color. I will add an Arcane Encyclopedia, and a mana rock to give us mana a little bit faster. I guess this sort of destroys the thing, but I don't know. It doesn't seem very good. Seems too expensive. Seems too expensive to me. So what else? I guess I passed some Shivan Fires. There might be some other ways to draw cards. Some other ways to make things happen. I guess I'll take Raptor Hatchling as a tribute to our good old friend Nate Price. Although it looks like I need more black cards. We could use Rise from the Grave, steal the opponent's dead creatures after we've killed them. That sounds pretty fun. Although Gravedigger isn't the same kind of fun because we need our own creatures to put in the graveyard. Are there any little, what I would call value dorks, especially around 2 for 2 mana? I guess Doom Dissenter could do the job, so could the Rat. So adding some of these at that level seems pretty good to fill out the deck. So what don't we need? Probably, I mean, Repeating Barrage, though, it's kind of a repeatable source of damage. That's not the worst idea. I suppose the Rise from the Graves might be a bit much. And Etali the Primal Storm, for all the fun it is, usually just dies the moment you play it and doesn't get to do anything fun. So I'll take that out. Do I need more lands in my deck? The default is 24. The dilemma of when to add more lands than that is always interesting. I do have a few 6-drops, which it would make sense to have more. I guess I can go down on Doom Dissenter and go to 25 land instead. You want to be able to play your 5-drops like Charging Monstrosaur and Burning Sun's Avatar. And I'm counting the Mana Lith, which makes Mana of Any Color, as 1 land. So this really should be a 26 land deck. If you want to learn more about mana bases, I have an article pinned in my free Discord that you can check out under user, I think it's under either new player questions or starter deck lists. I think it's under starter deck lists. You can also just search for like Frank Karsten mana base. He writes good stuff about that. And there are some good Reddit posts on the subject as well. So we're definitely going to run the Cinder Barons. I'm trying to decide if I want to, yeah, I think I do just want to trim this a little tiny bit. We do have Murder, which costs double black, so we want that on turn 3. We actually don't have enough sources for that very reliably, so we're going to be relying on our other removal to buy us time till we can cast Murder on turn 5, something like that. Anyway, kill them all. Sounds aggressive, but when else does Murder get to be your theme card? That's all, of course, to get our kill 25 of your opponent's creatures, 750 gold. Let's get right to it. When playing my quest decks, I always play it in ladder. I want to be ranked. I want to be matched against similar opponents and actually try, it doesn't always work, but try to take advantage of the matchmaking algorithm in the game so that I'm playing against opponents who don't have all the mythic rares. That doesn't always happen. You do have to accept that sometimes you will play in a less exciting situation where your opponent has a much better deck than you do, as we've already seen in some of the videos. Now that we're into a game, and I'm not building a deck, which takes a bit more concentration, I want to mention that while right now the other Young CGB videos of the week are not free to watch, they are behind a paywall sort of situation. The thing about that is if we get to the Patreon stretch goal of $100 per month, we are going to make those videos available every day of the week. I'm actually not going to kill this until my opponent tries to pump it. I want them to use mana on this. Otherwise, I'm not afraid of it yet. All right, that gives me more things to kill. And since my opponent does now have a plethora of 1/1s, let's cut back those 1/1s a little bit. But what I was saying is there's a $100 stretch goal where I will release a Young CGB video for every day of the week. Right now we're at $72 of that, so it's only $28 to go. So if you would like to chip in and help make that a free every weekday video series, you can do that in my Patreon channel, which there's a link to below. Also, my highest Patreon tier is $29.99. Perhaps there's somebody out there who owns a company or some company out there who watches these videos and would like advertising. If they'd like to do the $29.99, that would take it all the way to the top tier and make those available. And I'd be really happy to work with you and make that available to many people. I'm sure new players would really appreciate it. And I would really appreciate it. All right, that's enough of my Patreon plugging for the day. Let's get back into the game. So far, we've seen that I use my bolts to kill all these little creatures. Our opponent played an awesome mythic angel, Aurelia, the Exemplar of Justice. We had Fight with Fire to take it out. Now there's an ornery goblin. Whenever it becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to that creature. Okay, I mean, more things for me to kill, right? Should I Banefire it? Cast Down is good because it can kill any non-legendary creature, but I'm trying to picture what that creature might be from the opponent. Sorry, I'm thinking. I think I'll just pass the turn and see what happens. I think I'll take a hit from this too. I really do want to see if my opponent's going to play something else. Doesn't appear so. Alright, let's get it off the board. Just wanted to wait and check my options and see if this was the best thing I could be killing with that spell. I kind of wish I had it now because Repeating Barrage is a good 3 damage spell. Would have cleaned this up nicely. And we're passing turn. We're staring at each other. We're waiting on land number 5 and 6 for our dinosaurs. And our opponent is probably holding removal spells or spells that pump and buff their creatures. There is a swamp. And here comes the Monster Sword. Let's see if our opponent has a way to kill it. A card like Swift Justice, perhaps. Command the Storm, 5 damage to target creature. So our opponent's also on a bit of an intro deck. There were some hints along the way, but it might have been like an Aurelia plus Goblin theme. But when you see Command the Storm, you know that they're not running with a full collection either. So at least we got a fair-ish matchup from that standpoint. Let's go ahead and drop a Repeating Barrage on this Pyromancer. It costs more mana, and we can get it out of the graveyard by attacking with a creature, so playing this before the Lightning Strike, especially at sorcery speed, is a good idea. This way we still have our Lightning Strike available to play on our opponent's turn if they cast something we so wish to destroy. There is another land. We could run out the Burning Sun's Avatar and start attacking for 6, but I would rather wait. Our opponent's shown that they have many small creatures, so using the Burning Sun's Avatar to kill one, that is what they call value here in the Magic community. Of course, in other communities too. All right, so we'll just hold on to our critter for now. That's a good draw. Can let us start drawing through our deck and getting further ahead on cards. We may not even need the value from the Burning Sun's Avatar. I just have a feeling it will die. I feel like my opponent has more ways to kill large creatures in their hand. Otherwise, because if they had creatures, they would play them, is my logic on that. So I think that my Burning Sun's Avatar will eventually get cast, but also, sadly, eventually die. Let's try drawing a card with the Encyclopedia. We might draw something we can play. And this mountain, we've already played our land, so we can say go. But now we're drawing 2 cards a turn. The opponent is drawing 1. In Magic, if nobody's taking damage but one player is drawing 2 cards a turn, thanks to the rules of card advantage, eventually the player drawing 2 cards a turn seems to win. Here is a Manalith. You can make a mana of any color. Of course, we only need black and red, but it helps to have ways to spend your mana. It helps to cast things a little earlier, helps to cast bigger things like Burning Suns or Murder. Ways to fix your mana is what I meant to say. I just realized I said spend your mana. I'm going to slow down a little. I think I'm being like mile a minute guy. You don't always have to do that on YouTube. Sometimes you can be NPR CGB. Just take it easy. Take it slow. Nice and calm. Good and relaxed. Here's a Doomed Dissenter. And I think I will also play this. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Our opponent just hasn't played a creature in a long time, so I'll do 3 damage to their face. It would kill something if they had something to kill. That was 3 or less, but oh well. Let's get working on ending the game since we drew Fight with Fire. We have a Banefire. We can win in all kinds of ways from here. Luminous Bonds. All right. Like I said, removal, ready to go. But we can start going super face here with Fight with Fire. Submit. And we'll just shoot them for 10 with the Fight for Fire kicked mode. for 9 mana, you just, bam, shoot him down. You want to take one from our Doomed Dissenter as well, perhaps? There we go. And then next turn, Banefire. We pump mana into it. It does that much damage. So we can Banefire for 9 if we wanted to. I guess I may as well play around a Moment of Craving by Banefiring for a little bit extra, but I have a Lightning Strike, so there's no point. We'll just go for Xaxes, or Stevens, as they said it back in the Magic Duels days with a YouTuber called WMG. They called it Stevens when they hit for the perfect lethal. The opponent, showing that they don't want to go down easy. Well, our goal is to kill creatures, so I'm going to Lightning Strike their Goblin. And they're going to show us that they also have a shock. So we all got to play our cards for our spells. But we will come out on top. Seven creatures dead. This one may take a little while. Ooh, Artifacts Attack. An Azorius deck. What have we here? Let's have a look. Anything for our mono blue deck? Gearsmith Prodigy is something we already had. Seal Away is an excellent spell if we decide to make a control deck. Relic Runner, Field Keeper, not very good. Like vanilla. The only thing good about it is it's an artifact. And these are designed to work with that kind of thing. Return target creature to its own hand. If you control an artifact, draw a card. Yep. Sky Scanner. Settle the Wreckage. That's a very powerful rare. I'm actually amazed that they gave us one of these. That's excellent. So we have one of those in our back pocket for if we decide to go control. Aether Lawbringer is an exciting mythic that many control decks always wanted to play but never really got to. Maybe we'll give it a try. Oh, and I love Nezahal the Primal Tide. This is, if I had a pet card, it would probably be this one, as many people will tell me it's not good, but I've won many games with Nezzy, as I call her. And we get the Glacial Fortress, the rare land. Excellent. Nothing to do with right now, not really a part of these quests. Oh, we have over here to cast blue or white spells to earn a pack, and we have over here to kill things. I can't really kill things with blue and white spells. They're all exile, things like that. So I think we better play out our quest. Get our quest done. Turn off the heat in my room. It was a little cold, now it feels just fine. Of course, we heated it up with all that burn magic. Ha ha ha. Jokes. Jokesy jokes. Keep. And we'll put out the mountain and say go. We've got some little value nerds to put out there. If we draw a red, we get Sarkin going, which really doesn't, there aren't a lot of dragons for me to cast with Sarkin. It's kind of all about the looting effect, which is you discard a card to draw a card, which helps you get rid of cards you don't need and hopefully pick up ones that you do. Oh no, hatchling to hatchling. What is this? All right. What do you think? Does the opponent want to trade here? Let's find out. I mean, our quest is to kill things. Let's kill things. Damage. Yeah. I got a dino. No, I got a dino. And let's shoot down that dino before it gets to do anything cool. And dino to dino. One dead dino and another dead dino. Here comes my Doomed Dissenter, which if it dies, zombie token. Not as cool as a dino. I mean, the hatchling's better, let's be real. Vine Mare? We can't even block that with our Doomed Dissenter. That's a tragedy. And this tap land's a tragedy too. Oh no, Vine Mare's not even fair. Whatever will we do? I guess we have to play our 2 Gutter Snipes and hope to double block it? That's a terrible deal. Rabid Bite on my Doomed Dissenter. That seems pointless. I mean, why would you want me to have a 2/2? I couldn't block as it was. That's kind of a strange play. Alright. I guess we have to do damage as well and race. Maybe a pair of Gutter Snipes can help us do it. Maybe our opponent just has all the right cards and we can't get there, but we can try. What's really frustrating is I'm just trying to do a kill your creatures quest, and our opponent's playing hexproof creatures, which means we can't target them with anything. Or they're playing Thrashing Bronodon, which is too big for me to kill. Well, at least there's a few little targets out here. There's a couple. No blocks. Yeah, we could chump it, but that's just throwing away our lovely Gutter Snipe. Okay. I'm going to murder the Thrashing Bronodon. Gutter Snipe will deal 2 damage to you, and we will attack you. And this is how we try to race our opponent. Let's see if they're willing to block with their elf. They are not. End. We could have played Banefire just to do 2 damage to their face, but we might want to wait till we have another Gutter Snipe. Oh, that's bad. It's especially bad that we used our murder now, and we are dead. Oh well. Good try. Good try. Not close, actually. Missing a few lands there, plus the power of Vinemare against our black blocking creature. Pretty bad. If we could play that whole game again and I could plan for something like Vinemare, if I had any idea what was in my opponent's deck, I wouldn't have traded the Raptor Hatchling. I would have used it to block and prevent some damage from the Vinemare a few times, and maybe that would have been good enough to keep us in the game. Keep. That's one of the interesting things about playing non-meta decks and decks with different cards than the most popular decks in the format. Those ones that you have to put a lot of wild cards into, is once the powerful cards are found, they tend to kind of be expected in every deck. That's how I can predict a lot what my opponent might be playing. But when you're at your lower ranks and people are trying to rank up by playing all these unique decks, it's a lot harder to guess what they have. I mean, against a deck that shows me a Raptor Hatchling, I'm not expecting a Viner. I'm expecting other dinosaurs. I'm expecting cards like Ranging Raptors. That's just it's just habit, I suppose. Well, let's get this elf dead. Our opponent's showing the Teamer color pie, which is the name, Teamer is the name for green, blue, and red. Usually it's some kind of a ramp deck. Not really sure what to expect of it here either, but I will play Sarkhan and start, since I have so many lands, I'm going to start discarding them to draw other cards.
No sword can pierce my skin. Bolus told me I should do this.
And there's a Gutter Snipe. I have a fly on my shoulder. I wonder if I can get it. I'm going to try to swat it. You ready? You ready? Nope. Fail. If you can fail, I mean, thanks for the win, dude, but I can't complete my quest that way. I can't quest this way. All right, one more win for a pack, though, so that's hard to complain about. Let's keep trying. The Rotosyncs. It's a name. Of all the names I've ever seen, that's the one I've seen most recently. All right, let's do this. Highland Lake to Cinder Barrens. Might as well play your tap lands early if you can. Even if you have a spell you could have cast like a Shock, the odds of you actually having to cast it that turn are pretty low. Like, even if the opponent played a target for it, it doesn't mean I have to worry about it. I could always kill it later. It might even make sense to kill it after I play my Gutter Snipe to get an extra 2 damage to the opponent's face. So our opponent has Opt. Lets them look at their top card, put it down, draw a card. Just a nice little card to help you smooth out your draw. If you need lands, you look for lands. If you need spells, take spells. All right, that needs to die right away. We know exactly the kind of power that card has, and waiting to use it with our Gutter Snipe is probably not a good idea. Speaking of Gutter Snipe, here we go. Snipe on snipe action. I bet something bad happens to my Gutter Snipe as well. Yep. We both understand the power of the Gutter Snipe, therefore neither of us can let the opponent's Gutter Snipe win. Or live, I should say. Well, I think I'm actually going to play this Swamp My opponent, if they have another Gutter Snipe or an Enigma Drake, something like that, I do want to cast the Murder. So that's what I'm going to have the Murder available for. At this stage in the game, it's much more helpful to untap and have mana available to cast your larger spells. Oh, that's mean.
What would you risk to beat? Decisions.
This is where if I had my Vraska's Contempt, I'd be very happy to exile this Planeswalker, but we don't. And having no way to deal with this card that's no fun. I believe this can't target it either. It does not say Planeswalker, therefore it cannot. So we might just lose to the Ral, which is very frustrating. Oh, there's at least something I can kill to help me with that quest, right? Nothing worse than doing this quest than opponents who don't play enough creatures. Alright, we're going to try to cast... Let's see, if we shock this and it goes to 6 and it goes back to 7, I still can't get there. But I'm going to try casting the Burning Sun's Avatar. Hopefully it doesn't get countered. I need something on the board. Okay, our opponent has the rare, awesome counter spell for this color combination in Ionize.
Let's see what the wind blows in.
Alright, our opponent now up to 8 cards on Ral. It's very bad. We're going to Banefire the holy crap out of it. Because that can't be countered. Let's see if the opponent tries. They're trying! You can't counter that. You gotta read the card. If you read the whole card, it'll tell you. Can't be countered. And the damage can't be prevented. As long as you paid more than 5 for it. Unfortunately, though, Ral is still there.
You're good. Not as good as me, but...
Ral is still there, so we need to draw another Banefire, or a Lightning Strike would do it. And our opponent at least wasted a counter. Oh, they also have Search for Iskana? Alright. Well, they have all the rares and mythics for their deck. I guess the only kind of questionable card I've even seen is Gutter Snipe, but all the rest of this is pretty much a full fleshed out deck. And it's not going to help us complete our quest because they don't run very many creatures. So we're going to leave and try to find somebody else to play. I would encourage you to do the same. When you're running a deck that's just about quests, and especially if you're significantly overmatched, there's no point in banging your head against that wall. Go get somebody else. If, like me, your time, like my time on this free play account is limited, I won't do more than an hour a day, and I probably do that 5 days a week. So if your time is limited, you don't have to be making videos to have a limited amount of time. God knows we all have too much to do. Make sure you're playing games that are good. Go play games that are fun. Alright, Mountain, we'll start with our Cinder Barons again. We need another black to cast this Murder. Is that again? Are we paired against this kind of stuff again? It looks like we are. I mean, okay. I'll play this Rat. Whenever it enters the battlefield, an opponent discards a card, so yay! Value. Make him discard. Chemister's Insight. Alright, if I don't see a creature soon, I'm gonna leave. I can't do my kill creatures quest if I don't play against green decks. Alright, well, that's a creature. I didn't draw a way to deal with it, but I guess I can double burn spell it. Alright, the opponent blocked. That's pretty funny. Die. Yay, we killed a thing. Okie dokie. What else? I wonder if they run the other Drake. No, they're just gonna run the Insight right now and draw some cards. Sarkin. Well, let's see if our Planeswalker can help us out. I'm going to throw away this Murder.
You will feel the I fight with a dragon's rage.
Alright. Because right now I'm not sure if or when I'll get to cast it, since I don't have another black yet. I was gonna say, please don't be Raw again. Opponent deciding they didn't put anything in the graveyard, so they must have loved the cards they saw. That's always scary. A shock for the Sarkin.
A bold strike.
And another.
A little pain won't stop me.
Alright, well, we drew another black, so then at least that's the thing. Trying to decide when to start incinerating my opponent's face, as I'm not sure if they're going to play any more creatures. These Izzet decks are consistently low creature, high annoying. At least for me. This person might be a 1,000-year storm type. That would be pretty cool to see happen. But not fun to play against and no good for our quest. There's a creature. Yay! I want to wait a turn and see if I can drop this Burning Sun's Avatar, but because of Essence Scatter, I don't think I should. I think I should kill this now and then resolve this, because if there was an Essence Scatter, it would be such a blowout if I tried to cast either one of my creatures this turn. And there's my Monster Soar. Let's do this. Time for the dinos to start doing work. If my opponent still has 2 more removal spells, because they threw that Lightning Strike and that Shock at the Sarkin, I bet they're missing it. Oh. Well, I don't know what they were thinking so hard about. That seems like a pretty great way to get rid of the Charging Monstrosaur. Hopefully we just draw another, like a boss, right off the top. But we got a lot of burn. It's getting scary. Crackling Drake. This is a 10-4 flyer that draws a card when it enters the battlefield. I better kill it. Come on. There we go. And I do it with the trigger on the stack because in case my opponent was going to draw a negate, it would help my odds of making sure the Crackling Drake actually died. I don't know for sure that they play with negate, but they could. Therefore, it's not a bad idea to take that road. Now I wish I'd save those because of Fight with Fire, but I still think that the play I made is right most of the time. I'll just be over here waiting for our opponent to see all their cards and get all that card draw that is just so fun to do that I'm so jealous of. Here's my Arcane Encyclopedia. May I draw cards too? More Drakes. As you see, each one gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Alright, I don't know what that's for, or that. I guess my opponent's getting bored? I don't know. But at least if they threaten a counterspell, I'd be worried about it. Yep, Jumpstart can certainly do a lot of cards. You get to see a lot of your deck. As you see, they're most of the way through it right now. There's another Electromancer. I'm so grateful for things to kill. Thank you, opponent. That'll probably demand an answer. We'll see if our opponent runs things for big monsters like this. And then we're still packing Banefire. We just need a little bit more. That's an Enigma Drake, and a very, very dangerous one. Alright, let's see if our opponent trades or takes this damage. They're taking it? They are. Because they think if they attack me with this Drake, they win. Unfortunately for them, this is an uncounterable Banefire for 6. As much as I'd love to kill this creature to work on my quest, I prefer the pack I win by winning the game. And there it is, 100 gold and a pack of Ravnica. Let's have a look. Let's see what we get here. Fine Broker maybe someday. Another rat is pretty good. It's fine. It's not enough that I'm going to stop everything and go throw it into this deck. Anyway, we're getting there. We have 7 creatures to kill. May we please play against Mono Green Stompy, or Green White Selesnya, or hell, even Red White Boros would be nice. And that's a keep. We got our colors, we got our murders, we got a shock. I can't stress enough on these decks. I don't even know that I'm going to put the deck list in the description because the deck I don't claim is good at all. It's really not. All I'm trying to do is get a bunch of cheap, low-cost removal spells to complete the quest. So I really need to stress that to you. It's not like you should copy this deck list. Even if you have the same quest, you should look at your own collection and see what your best things that destroy target creature or do damage target creature are. Get those in the deck. Use those to complete the quest. That's what it's all about. Let's use this shock since this is a 2-power creature. And there you go. 6 creatures to go. In the meantime, the hatchling will beat down. And we're passing turn. All right, we got some time. May I attack you with my hatchling? Opponent's holding us up on our attack step. I wonder, what could be the reason? Are you considering destroying this hatchling? It's just a 1/1. It's your baby. You wouldn't destroy this cute little guy. You wouldn't damage that face. I know, it's like right, it's probably really close to my face in the viewer. I'm going to wait until my turn to decide whether or not to kill this elf and what to kill it with. I have a lot of spells that are smaller. In fact, letting the opponent have the elf so I can murder their bigger cards is probably a good idea, as opposed to murdering the elf. As tempting as it is. The quest wants me to, I say. Demanding Dragon, excellent. Alright, resolve the trigger, which says sacrifice a creature. If you decline, it deals 5 damage. So I'm going to sacrifice my hatchling for my 3/3. Oh, it's only when it's dealt damage. Still, it's not a bad idea. Sorry, haven't played Raptor Hatchling in a minute. I should know better. But we're definitely going to murder that dragon. I still would have made the same choice. And that is perfect to take out the elves. Burning Sun's Avatar showing up like a boss in just about every game. There, we're on 5. That's 4. 4 creatures to go. 4 more left. And we can put down the black-red just murdering machine we've got here. Can I attack with my Burning Sun's Avatar, please? One time? Of course, we also can Banefire for 7. Which I think means we can win the game. Would I give up lethal to help me hit my quest goals? That's a tough call, chat. I've never been in this spot before, and I'm not sure. But I'm going to take the win. What would you do? What would you do in that spot? Titanic growth. And a lightning strike. Okay. Well, we had the Exactsies. It seems almost cruel to wait for them to cast creatures just to kill them and give them false hope and then smash it. But man, we got a little bit more. Give me another green deck, please. Give me another green deck, pretty please. I've got to say, even though I usually like the spiky decks in the metagame, and I never thought I'd be very good at making these free-to-play videos for newer players, I'm really enjoying the different quests and building decks just to knock out the quest as quick as I can. I'm also surprised that I can win a fair amount of the games in free play with these very budgety decks. So, really, I'm having an even better experience than I expected, playing with these decks and doing these quests. So I'm sure that if I can do that, you know, if I can have fun with this, newer players and players who maybe don't take the game as seriously as I have a habit of taking it are probably having a great time. And that would explain why there's so much love for Arena around these days. People are really excited about it, people tweeting about it. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to kill this now. Our opponent could be playing pump spells. There's that one Integrity Intervention, I think, is a +2/+2. And just killing it now means that the opponent doesn't get a chance to save it from the lightning strike. This should Bugler. So this is a Boros. This is probably be a lot of creatures. Will really help me knock this quest out. We only have 3 to go, and we've got enough removal in our hand to get the job done. So I think we're gonna make it, everybody. So Integrity Intervention doesn't save the creature from murder. So I can say go and see if my opponent plays something with haste, an Aurelia, something huge before the attack step, and now I'm going to murder that Bugler. Take it out! Murder! Murder, 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 murder. 2 to go. Just 2 more creatures. There's one of them. Since I have Vicious Offering and Doom Dissenter as a bit of a combo, I'm going to go ahead and shock away the Mentor of the Meek. We'll see if the opponent has the way to save it that I mentioned. Oh, they did have it. How about that? So we can Vicious Offering now, or we can save Vicious Offering and Doom Dissenter. The other thing is I can play a land and play the Murder, but I think I'm going to use the Vicious Offering. I think that that's the best way to use my mana this turn. Now don't scoop. I still have to kill one more creature. Don't scoop. Obviously, if they wanted to, I would not actually begrudge them. I'm just saying it for hopefully give myself some luck or something. Like the cosmic gods will hear me. It's like The Secret. You just say what you want, and eventually the universe gives it to you. That's how it works, right? That's got to be it. Tajik! Okay. I'm going to try to shock you. Quest complete on the Great Tajik, the Legion's Edge. Totally excellent card, by the way. Especially for Boros. What a beating this card can give. Haste, Mentor. Prevent all non-cap combat damage. Gains first strike. Oh! Not today, says Tajik. Another Integrity. And I will go ahead and block. So I have my 2/2 zombie and don't take any damage. And with that, off the top of the deck, let's complete our quest. Die, Tajik. You are mine. Quest complete. Now we just have to hope the power doesn't go out. And all these words would be for nothing. Alright, the Banneret gets a +1, +2/+0 for every 2 mana. Ooh, but we drew a removal spell. Keeping it coming. Yep, it's an all removal pile. If you want to know how to beat Boros or deal with Boros, it's right here. This isn't a terrible Boros deck. Integrity Intervention is definitely a good card for the deck, but it's uncommon, so it's not weird to see it. Tajik is an excellent card for the deck. Bugler's alright, and Boros Challenger is an excellent card for the deck. We haven't seen like Aurelia or any other huge mythics, so our opponent could be on a budget version. Yeah, they're probably on a budget version. So in the interest of winning the game, I'm going to hold this back until it can kill something, since there are so many things worth killing in this deck. So many small creatures that become stronger and stronger. Hunted Witness. Huh. Okay. Let's attack in. And and they're going to take the damage. All right. Again, killing the Hunted Witness isn't... Like, killing the Hunted Witness doesn't matter because it just makes another soldier. So I don't mind waiting a little longer. And the opponent wants to chip shot damage with the Hunted Witness. Trying to figure out what they're getting at. They'll have to deal with this zombie someday, or their life total is going to get very low. There's a lightning strike for the zombie. Okay. I believe my opponent has a removal spell for this, but their last card could be a land. I mean, they are really low on resources. Let's see what they do. They do nothing. Feels like they should have a removal spell, but at least this will test the water. This will tell us really quickly if our opponent has that kind of removal in their hand. Ooh, doesn't look like they do. Charging freaking Monster Sword. Bruh. Now what does the Hunted Witness do? Keep attacking? That would be odd. Nope. Okay, my turn. Let's try 2 Charging Monster Swords. Will there be a Settle the Wreckage? Could be. Although I think they would have played it last turn. They definitely had the mana to. And that's the scoop. And that's the game. And that's probably the quest. Which means we don't have to play the black-red deck anymore, but mission accomplished. And there we go. Now City Watch Sphinx is the reward. 750 gold. Excellent. And now there is a pack on the line. So what we're going to do at the end of the video is craft, open our packs and buy some packs and craft some cards. I guess we may as well do it now, because I don't know if I'll finish this quest, but I may just do a few more upgrades on the blue deck before I call it finished. Let's go to the store. And because I'm doing mono blue, do I want to keep buying Dominaria? No, I think I'll start buying Guilds of Ravnica, because I definitely want to do guild decks. I'm very excited about the new cards. So let's add these. So 5 packs of Guilds of Ravnica. And we go in here, and let's hit them. Don't be afraid to spend that gold, my friends. Gruesome Menagerie okay. Probably the best thing here is the uncommon wild card. It's the only way to get your rare and mythic wild cards by spending that gold. So there's we've seen the Banneret today. There it is. And Narcomoeba, people haven't really made that card do much so far. I'm not very excited about it. How about here? Thought Erasure is a card some people play, another common wild card. Blood Operative is not a card people have played much after the first couple weeks of the format. Maybe it would come back someday. Unexplained Disappearance, Darkblade Agent, Silent Dart. Mausoleum Secrets. It's a tutor for a black card. Cards and graveyard stuff. I think it's a pretty medium pack so far, but as usual, the important part is the wild card counter. Ah, there's a Crackling Drake. We saw how good that card can be and how scary. Disdainful Stroke's not bad. Thoughtbound Phantasm is good with Surveil. And Thief of Sanity is a lot of fun in a blue-black deck. Whenever it hits the opponent, look at their top 3. Pick one. Exile it face down so the opponent doesn't know what it is. And then you put the rest in their graveyard, and you may cast that card using any colored mana. It's so cool. Now then, of course, we have the 30 packs we're not opening because not everybody received those, and I'm still not sure why I did. All right, budget blue deck. So the main things I want are another Essence Scatter, I've decided, another Opt, Chart the Course, Wizard's Retort, and Siren Storm Tamer. So we have 3 uncommon wild cards and 2 common ones. So let's use those here. 2 common, 3 uncommon. So what are the good uncommon things to grab? Let's do a mix. Let's grab. Let's see. Look for not collected. Let's look for a Siren Storm Tamer. Let's grab one of those. Let's grab a Wizard's Retort. Oops. Forgot to put the proper punctuation. I always look like an idiot trying to type while recording. It honestly is that the mic is between me and my keyboard. I set the mic aside. The rest of the day I type perfectly well. I just look like I'm completely incapable when I'm recording because of that. And we'll do a chart of the course. There we go. For the commons, we'll go ahead and grab one more Essence Scatter. And we will grab one more Opt. All right. So in the future, someday, I want 4 Siren Storm Tamers. For now, I'm going to be 1 Siren Storm Tamer and 3 Gearsmith Prodigy. And 4 Mistbound Herald is still right. Curious Obsession. Spell Pierce, Blink of an Eye. That is a card that doesn't have to be in the deck, but Disdainful Stroke certainly doesn't. Although it sort of works as a counter replacement. What are the other creatures the deck wants? We have the Tempest Djinn. I don't think I need Water Knot anymore. Tezzeret, Entrancing Melody, that's all fine. Maybe we'll bring back some Water Knots. How many creatures are we at? 19. Okay, I guess I took out too many creatures. What's the creature I still need? Like Exclusion Mage, I think, is one of them. Cards like this, the Courser, but we don't have any more wild cards for that. So I need like a few more blue baby critters. I guess we could run a 4th Gearsmith Prodigy, but we don't have artifacts anymore, which makes it a lot worse. Thoughtbound Phantasm we don't have Surveil for. So is the best I can do... I mean, this is a flyer, but we definitely don't have a good way to get it into the graveyard. Some versions are running Night Veil Sprite. If I had more uncommons, I'd use it. Perhaps an Omen Speaker is a good idea. This says you can't be blocked if you cast a historic spell. I don't really have many, or any. Yeah, it looks like some kind of artifact creature is still the best thing I can do because of the Gearsmith Prodigies, who can't attack very well at all without Curious Obsession. So we're still a little lacking on our creatures. I wonder if this like Flash 3/2 Whisper Agent is good for now. It can be cast with black, but we don't really need the black. Let's reset the filters. So I'm just looking at cards I actually have. And let's look at the artifacts. We still have the Diamond Mare, which is, you know, it's solid. Skyscanner flies and draws a card. Maybe it's not the worst thing I could be doing, but it's definitely not very good for a tempo deck. I can promise you that. It does, however, gets you a little deeper in the deck. But I think if I'm going to run that, I'm just better off running the one that makes Thopters. The Aviation Pioneer. This is probably even better to run, to be honest, while we're on this version of the deck. Yeah, let's try that instead. Maybe we can trim back on the Prodigies. Maybe they're just not worth it without the artifacts. I like the one Diamond Mare for red. Where are we at now? 21, so we can cut one creature. Alright, I will trim one of the Wind Mages, and we'll see what happens. Still need some upgrades in our creature suite. In the meantime, I'm going to save our rares and mythic rares and start building them up for some other decks that we'll probably get into in the very near future. But let's see, we've got, what, 40 blue or white spells to cast for our next quest. We've been going for 54 minutes. I can definitely play a game or two with the mono blue. So we're really looking for hands with Curious Obsession and Tempest Djinn. They're our best cards. It might be worth taking mulligans just to find them more often and not keeping hands that are not doing very much without them. I say that, but then you never know till you look at the hand and think about it. So like this hand is pretty good. If we draw a Tempest Djinn or if we draw a Curious Obsession, this hand is very good. So when I look at it, I said I'd mulligan for those things, but at the same time, I feel like this hand can get there. So I'm going to play it, and we'll see what happens. Okay, a land off the top. I really don't want to draw any more land, I don't think. Not for a very long time. The Nightvale Sprite. Well, that's a problem. We'll play this and say go. 2 lands off the top is very bad. Not what we were looking to do at all. Let's let the opponent attack. They'll get their Surveil trigger. They're going to look at their top card and decide whether to put it in the graveyard or on top. That's what this little graphic is. They put a swamp in the graveyard. They may have too many lands as well. We're going to attempt to ambush the Sprite with a Merfolk Trickster. There's a lot of ways this could go wrong, but it's worth a try. No, Sinister Sabotage. Okay, not today, the Surveil deck said. All right, I'm going to try an opt. I'm glad to put that land on the bottom because it's drawing far too many. All right. I'm trying to decide whether or not to leave up Essence Scatter or play the Corsair. And I think that leaving up Essence Scatter is good. Right now we're behind, and we don't want to get too far behind. We just want to stay in the game. We're behind because our opponent has card selection in the Sprite. But if we let them resolve things like this Thoughtbound Phantasm, well, that becomes very bad. Also, our opponent didn't have a counterspell there, which means they might not have any more. Probably don't have any more since their follow-up is Notion Rain. And we'll see whether or not they draw another one. The bugs are back. Do you think I can get the bug this time? Judo chop. Ki! I think it got away. So frustrating. Alright, well, we found a Water Knot. I'm going to attack with the Herald, play out my Kitesail Corsair, and hold up the Essence Scatter. I think I may have a Doom Whisperer or some other very large creature that I need to counter. Oh, that won't cast a Doom Whisperer. A Thoughtbound Phantasm, though. It eventually becomes a very large creature, but I think I can ignore it for a good amount of time. It can't block any of my things. That can block my things. So I think I have to play an Essence Scatter on this Dimir Spybug. And there's a Narcomoeba, so our opponent believes in the 1/1 flyer, and that's very frustrating. Very, very frustrating, because we actually have a creature that plays into that. Alright. I'm going to Water Knot the Sprite, so it can't keep bothering me. I'm going to move to combat and attack with the Herald, because the Narcomoeba could trade with the Corsair. And I'm going to lament how many lands my deck has drawn. It's been sad. Has not been a draw that's turned out the way we need it to. This brings Snitch. Whenever you surveil for the first time each turn, it deals 1 damage to each opponent, and you gain 1 life. Okay. Let's put the Curious Obsession on the unblockable, as our opponent has multiple flyers in their deck. Their last card, let's hope it's not a good one. They haven't had a Surveil. They haven't had a card like... Oh, they must have drawn that, because they didn't play it the last few times when there was an opportunity. So they must have just drawn that. Oh, that hurts. That makes me very sad. And that's probably going to be game over for us. I don't think we have any chance anymore. Okay. All our opponent needs is like 1 more Surveil card, and we're just... Okay. Well, that makes it 5-5, so I'm going to concede this game. No reason to keep playing. And that's too bad. Just a rough draw. Too many lands. Maybe that hand was a mulligan the whole time after all. Well, let's see if we can send young CGB out for the week with a victory. He's worked hard, But you can't complain either. 5,000 gold, a whole bunch of new cards for the week, lots of quests completed. There's absolutely nothing to complain about. Although those of you who try really hard to find those types of things might. You know what I mean. All you out there looking for things to complain about. Some people are very elite at it. I might not find anything, but they'll find it. They will find it. They'll come down to my Discord and talk all about it. Shock on the Herald. Alright, our first creature dead. Blue-red again. Alright, lots of blue-red out today. It is a popular color. There are people who are die-hard blue-red for sure. Let's see if I'm allowed to have a Merfolk Trickster here. Basically the Grizzly Bear mode. Now let's see if the opponent wants to kill it. Ah, you do. Not going to defend it with a counterspell. It's perfectly fine. I'm a bit concerned about my opponent having a Essence Scatter, but since we have 2 of the Tempest Djinns now, I'm going to go for it. Alrighty, we have our Tempest Djinn. Will it be met by a Lava Coil or something that can kill it? Not yet, not yet. Alright, Tempest Djinn. I don't know why you took the last game off, but I'm glad you're here for work today. Creatures your opponent's control get -2/-. Oh, draw a card. Sure. That doesn't kill the Djinn, it just buys a little bit of time. So, the opponent couldn't deal with 1 Djinn. Let's put out a second one. I don't know, there isn't like Hour of Devastation or a card that would just kill both of them right now. So I feel fine with that play, and then we can defend them with Wizard's Retorts for the rest of the game. And the opponent says go. There's another way to defend them. Mercy me. What you got? You're gonna need a better plan than take 8. And our opponent hasn't done anything. I could play the Wind Mage, but I have a feeling it will die. I feel like my opponent has a Lightning Strike, or they're planning to play a card draw spell here on end step. I'm not sure which, but it doesn't feel like the right play, and that's the best way I can describe it. I think the best thing is to hold up, dive down, Wizard's Retort. Our opponent's clock is very short, and if we draw another island, they could be dead next turn. They are lightning striking my face. That is fine. I'm kind of amazed. And there is Rawl. Well, that is definitely a counterspell.
Come on.
Our opponent was trying to get 4 instants or sorceries in their graveyard to use the Rawl minus to kill our Tempest Djinn. And now that Rawl is down, they want no more. They will see no more of this. Excellent. All right. Well, we still got some ways to go for this pack reward. You only get 1 CGB a week, right? Or 1 young CGB a week. Let's see if we can get to it. Obviously, if you find the video too long, you can always hit that 2x speed button, get through a little bit faster. And of course, it is YouTube. You can do whatever you like. You can skip ahead, you can watch later, you can watch it half and halves, however you want to do it. It's your life. This is not a great hand, but I really have a hard time learning mulliganing hands with 3 lands and 4 spells, as it's pretty much the exact balance you want in every hand. The opponent, however, has gone to 6, so we'll see what happens here. I also like to think every time I see a card draw spell, like Radical Idea, that I'll obviously draw exactly what I need because of it. However, it's just as likely that I just rip more and more land. The red mages are out tonight. And there's a Viashino Pyromancer. Trying to decide what I think of that card. if it's worth a counter. It is 2 damage to the face. Letting the red deck have any traction can often be a big mistake. I'm just going to use an Essence Scatter now. I don't know what else is in the deck, but I know that the more damage you take from the red deck, the harder it gets to win your game. Sometimes keeping it simple and not trying to play too smart is a decent call. Valiant Instigator. Okay. I think that trying to ambush this with a Trickster is a pretty good idea. So I'm going to save those, even though my opponent's likely to have removal for them. Let's do some radical ideas. Let's have some radical ideas. There's a Tempest Shin. That's a wonderful card. We want to play it when we can protect it. Our opponent could have a lot of things like Lava Coil. If we can have a Trickster on the board and then 5 mana, we can play a Jhin and protect it. So I'm going to say go for now. We can also try to wear down our opponent's potential removal spells by making them use them on the Trickster. Looks like black and red. Interesting. Any of these come? So let's see if we can ambush them. Uh-huh. Opponent's gonna have a read. Thinking. I have a feeling they'll shoot this in a second, but that's more removal out of their hand to make way for the Tempest Jhin. There's a Lightning Strike, sure. We could counter it. I think I'll just go for another Trickster instead. Doesn't really matter what I target with the ability, but it looks like I get to block this time. Hallelujah. So do I kill something? I do! So the opponent is now out of instant speed removal, or at least any at that cost. Plus we do a dive down and protect our Jhin. I'm going to start by attacking. Our opponent has something that they're not playing, or they're holding priority for reasons unknown. I mean, they must have some play. And here comes the Tempest Shin. The mighty boss. Hard to get that 4th point of damage in your red spells. They do have a spell called Lava Coil that'll do it, and Fight with Fire will do it, but now we have a dive down, which is pretty great. The opponent's attack very much implies that they have some kind of removal spell, but since I want to save this for something else, I'm just going to take the damage. I don't want to make it easy for them. I want to make them draw the exact right thing, and then I still beat them with the dive down. Or I make them throw away 2 spells instead of their Goblin token. Here comes something. There's a shock. And there's a lightning strike. Well, that is what we call the maximum blowout, as we got to take out both those spells, but the creature's still alive. Now I'll play out my Herald and leave up Wizard's Retort to counter whatever the next thing is that might hurt my Jhin. And it should be able to smash through the opponent as long as it survives for 2 turns. Kindling Phoenix. I can put a Water Knot on that, or I could counter it. I think that countering it is wise. If the opponent finds a way to kill their own Phoenix, it can come back. Although by then I think they'd be dead. Now that I think about it, I think the Water Knot is a better idea. If they do kill their own Phoenix, it will be their life total will be 0 before it can harm us. I'm not going to bring back the radical idea either. That's good too. How about I just blink the Phoenix and then hold up the Wizard's Retort? I think that's even better than the original idea. That way the opponent has to play the Phoenix again. The opponent has one block they can make on the Trickster if they want their the clock to be longer. But they're in a very bad place. We're in a very good place. It's hard to envision how they would get out of this. We have exactly 7 points of power on the board. If our opponent taps out to play the Phoenix, I'll probably just let them do that and then water knot it. Our quest is also to play blue spells, so depending whether or not I get the chance, I may just do the Radical Idea as well. Alright, there's the Phoenix. Yep, resolves. Bring this back, discard the Retort. Alright, play the land, play Curious Obsession. Play the Water Knot. And get the victory. That was probably a good one for spells. Let's see how we're doing on spells. Our opponent definitely had plenty of removal. Temptation with dive down. Too strong. Alright. 16 more spells. We can do it. If I had originally planned on playing out that quest, I really didn't when I started, or I would have done a quick constructed probably to see how the deck would do there. I'd say I'm probably about 8-ish uncommon wildcards off the deck list I want for mono blue, which is why I can start saving my rares and mythics for a different deck. Interested in figuring out what deck that should be. So we're on the play and we have a nice curve, but we have too many lands. I still think I have to keep it though, because we're going to go 1, 2, 3. It's a very good curve when you can play 1 creature, 2 creature, 3 creature, and they all fly. So the opponent, I'm not sure, they're going to have to find a way to survive the onslaught. And they're going to start with an opt. Perhaps some kind of control mage here. If we draw a few of our disruptive spells, fighting against control should be pretty easy, but if we continue to draw lands, it will not be easy at all. Alright, I'm going to go for my Wind Mage and see what the opponent has for us. I'm sure it's some kind of a burn spell. Oh, a blink. That's actually fine. Burn spells are much worse. Having it back, we needed things to cast anyway. Enigma Drake. Alright. So our opponent also has a flyer. Let's bounce their flyer and draw a card. Okay, dive down's okay. Keep the pressure up. They can replay that Drake, of course. But then we can play a Wind Mage, and it might be difficult to block. Ah, they have a Crackling Drake too. Well, these Drakes are going to be a big problem. We're going to need those Water Knots now. Oh, I wish. Alright. Let's play you. And pass the turn. So I think what I'm going to have to do is put a Curious Obsession on this card and try to get it through Drake City here. There's a Gutter Snipe. That's going to be annoying. We're not a removal deck, so Gutter Snipe is much better against us than it is in a lot of situations. We're saving the Radical Idea to use with the Wind Mage. So here begins the great battle of our time. I'm sure the opponent will try to Lightning Strike the Wind Mage or do something to it. No? I wonder if I should attack with these other things. If the opponent takes this, we draw extra cards, so it's almost like we cashed in extra cards. I'm not sure if or when I'm going to kill this. Plus our opponent has another Enigma Drake coming. I honestly don't know. I don't know if these are going to do any good. The Storm Tamer might, but the Kitesail Courser? Oh well, I think we'll just attack with one. It feels a little too aggressive to throw it away to get some damage on a card right now. Alright, play Radical Idea. Our opponent will likely play some kind of Lightning Strike shock effect. Trickster, nice. Damage. Yeah, what do you have? They are a thoughtful one. They're going to disperse their Crackling Drake. Interesting. That's a good play. I don't think I can interact with that. Let's see. It says targets a creature you control. That is not a creature I control. Okay. And I don't think tapping anything does anything. So yeah, that resolves. That's a good way to draw a card, but it also uses up a lot of mana. Interesting. And the Drake is back. I can't stop the enters the battlefield ability, so there's no point in playing the Trickster there. Trickster, in fact, I probably don't want to play it on end step. I don't want anything to happen to this Wind Mage. It would be tragedy if I tapped out and it got lightning struck. But we can play the Trickster right now, and we can use it to tap the Drake to get our attack through. And that's a pretty good way to get an attack through here. So let's go to combat. Attack. There is a disperse targeting my Wind Mage. Let's play the dive down, because it also pumps the Wind Mage as well as stopping that effect. Resolve. Resolve. We could have sacked the Storm Tamer, but I want the 1 damage the Storm Tamer is going to provide here. And we also get the Curious Obsession draw. And we'll throw that away to the Radical Idea in the near future. Probably on the opponent's end step. Yeah, it's got to be time for that Enigma Drake. And another Crackling Drake. Okay. All the flyers. We need a way to break through. Let's see what we can come up with. Drawing a couple Merfolk Tricksters would be very clutch. Curious Obsession. And that's an unblockable creature. I do think it will die. I think the opponent's going to do some pretty intense, what you would call gang blocking on this creature. So where could I put like my Curious Obsession where it would be good? Probably on this Herald, to be honest. And I really want to keep my Storm Tamer. But that said, I think I need every point. Let's see how the opponent handles this attack. Yeah, I thought they would want to at least do 1 double block. Now, if they do a double block, they have a hard choice about what to let through. So they're going to let 2 damage through and kill you because you're a better dispersed target. And we can save the Trickster. I guess that's a good play. And we'll play the Herald, and we hope, my friends. We hope the opponent has a lot of blanks. They're running a lot of bounce spells, not a lot of burn spells, but you gotta admit, you gotta know burn is coming, and there it is. They didn't wait for the Curious Obsession either. I guess we can call ourselves lucky. Let's not attack into that. That looks painful. But we're now thoroughly in a bad place. Our opponent's ripping shocks, just launching them. That's a little late on that Wizard's Retort. The opponent has 12 damage now that they can hit us with. But they're saying go instead. They're very afraid. And I'll take my unblockable creature. Staying close, but I do think we just lose to a spell or two. And here comes the attacks. I mean, ooh. Yeah, that's what I would have done the turn before, is attacked with 1. And now you're seeing that it's not good to have Kitesail Courser not have flying. Alright, we need a big draw. Another Trickster? Oh, that's not good. Alright. Oh, well, we'll kind of pose over here, but I'm sure the opponent will attack, and they do, and they win. And that's too bad. We tried. It was a good battle. Our opponent with the Super Drake deck. Us with the, again, when you draw that many lands. This is why Chart, of course, we need more of those in the deck. Because that's how you lose the games, is you draw too many lands. But hey, we got our pack. So sometimes it's about those prizes. Definitely can't win them all on free-to-play. All right. Divination might even make the deck at this point.
I am master of machines.
Another Tezzeret. Maybe we do just play our Tezzerets since we draw so much land. And I do like them. I mean, I want them to be decent. Yeah. I don't think I need to make any more changes today, though. It's been a nice, fun day of gaming. I've enjoyed my time here. The Young CGB account is coming along just fine. I know what we can do. We can go through the collection a bit. We got a rare and a mythic to start putting towards our future decks. We can check out all these that we do have. We have a Johnny, a Valiant Knight, Settle the Wreckage, 2 War Leaders, we're playing an Angel, some good white stuff. Now we have 2 Tezzerets. Maybe there is like a white-blue control in here. And of course, the cornerstone of our collection, the Tempest Shins. Dream Eaters hanging out. Let's see. We got the Vraska's Contempt, which is nice. We're definitely going to use that in plenty of things. The 2 Banefires have sort of MVP'd every time we've played against those counter everything decks. A little bit of Banefire has gotten the job done. And you see a good plethora of giant monsters here. And we opened a few Selesnya cards in our Guilds of Ravnica, so, and a few good Izzet rares here too. So we'll see. There's still a long way to go. This is just 1 week in the bag, and we already have a much better collection than I ever had in paper 1 week in. I can tell you that. In paper, it would have taken me months to get this far. But playing a completely free-to-play account of Magic, we have this sweet, sweet collection cooking already. I would like to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Young CGB will be returning next Friday, unless we hit our Patreon goal, which we're only $28 away from before then. As soon as we do, I'll start putting up Young CGB videos, free-to-play videos for you every day. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, do enjoy your time in Arena. Good night.